In our quick-paced world, when a house is empty, the silence can make feelings of loneliness and uncertainty worse. But what if there was a way to turn this solitude into a deep journey of self-discovery and strength? Stoic theory, which dates back thousands of years, gives us a unique way to think about living alone that we don't often talk about, but that is incredibly empowering. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This quote sums up what it means to be stoic. To find peace within yourself, no matter what is going on around you. Being physically alone isn't the only thing that can help you develop inner strength and peace. But how often do we overlook the chance to grow that solitude provides? How can we change our minds to see being alone as a way to reach personal enlightenment? The truth is that the difficulties of living alone are frequently underrated. Not having daily conversations with other people can make you feel alone, and if you're not careful, it's simple to get stuck in a negative mindset. But this is where Stoicism's power to change things lies. Epictetus taught that how you respond to things is more important than what they do to you. This way of thinking tells us to see our solitude not as a burden, but as a chance to build our character and strength. Come with us as we explore the often unspoken truths about Stoic living alone. You'll find useful tips and timeless wisdom that can help you get through the quiet moments and find deep meaning in solitude. Don't miss any of the important lessons that Stoicism has to teach. Watch the whole thing and let the light of ancient wisdom lead you to a happier, more powerful life. Number 1. Taking on the challenge. Life is full of problems and difficulties. According to the Stoic theory, these problems are not things to avoid, but rather chances to grow and get better. Problems don't have to be seen as problems. They can be seen as lessons, like in Seneca's life. One famous Stoic philosopher, Seneca, went through a lot of hard times, from being exiled to political unrest. But he turned these problems into chances to learn patience and endurance. So how can we do the same? The first thing we need to do is change the way we think about challenges. Instead of seeing them as bad, see them as chances to learn and grow. This will help us stay strong when we face problems. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations that every problem can be turned into a chance if we know how to look at it and deal with it. Another Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, wrote a story about how problems can be turned into chances. Epictetus was born a slave and went through a lot of hard times in his life, but he didn't give up. Instead, he used these problems to train his will and intellect, which made him one of the most important thinkers of his time. What about you? Without problems, can we really know how strong we are? Think about the problems that have made you better and helped you grow. Share your stories in the comments section below. What you say will not only motivate you, but it will also help other people who are looking for inspiration and persistence. Challenges are an important part of life. Welcome them with thankfulness and determination, for they are what help us grow and get better. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way. What blocks our path becomes the path we take." Taking on difficulties is a key part of growing as a person and as a worker. We get out of our comfort zones, learn new skills, and reach big goals when we face challenges. Taking on challenges head-on builds resilience, creativity, and a sense of success, whether it's in school, work, or personal growth. Have a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the idea that you can get smarter and better at things if you work hard and are dedicated. Adopting this way of thinking helps people keep learning and be strong when things get hard. Realizing that failing is a part of the learning process keeps you motivated and on track. Goal setting. Setting clear goals gives you direction and a reason to do things. They help break down big problems into jobs that are easier to handle. Setting smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals makes sure that every step is taken in the right direction to finish the task. Learn how to solve problems. When taking on tasks, it's important to be able to solve problems. This means figuring out what the problem is, coming up with possible solutions, judging these solutions, and then putting the best one into action. Getting better at these skills through practice and experience makes it easier to deal with problems. Make yourself strong. Being resilient means being able to bounce back quickly from losses. Getting resilient means keeping a good outlook, dealing with stress, and being adaptable when things go wrong. Mindfulness, exercise, and asking for help from others are all things that can help you be more resilient. Ask for help, and to work together when you take on problems. You don't have to face them by yourself. Get help from mentors, co-workers, or the community. They can give you new ideas, advice, and support. Working together often leads to new ideas and success for everyone, which makes the journey less scary and more worthwhile. Overcoming challenges is a life-changing event that helps you grow as a person and in your career. People can get through tough situations by having a growth mindset, making clear goals, learning how to solve problems, becoming more resilient, and asking for help. Every problem you solve and overcome boosts your confidence, skills, and ready for new challenges. Number 2. Finding peace within yourself. Have you ever found it hard to find inner peace? This is a question that many of us might ask ourselves when we are dealing with the stress and chaos of modern life. Inner peace is not something far away. It's a mental state that can be reached through practice and a deep understanding of oneself and the world around us. Finding inner peace doesn't mean dodging problems or trying to be perfect. It means how we deal with them. Epictetus once said that men are troubled not by things, but by the views they hold of them. This means that it's not the events themselves that bother us, but how we react to and think about them. If we can change our perspective, we can use problems as chances to train our mind and soul. So how can we keep our inner peace in our daily lives? One of the best ways is to meditate. Meditation helps us forget about the past and the future and focus on the here and now. Marcus Aurelius had long nights of writing in his journal. To clear his thoughts and find peace, he would meditate. Besides meditation, writing in a book is another good way to keep your peace. It helps us understand what's going on in our minds better when we write down our feelings and thoughts. Minds that let us change and adapt to bad thoughts. You will be surprised at how much lighter and more peaceful your soul feels after writing about what you are thankful for and the things that make you happy every day. Practicing thanks is another way to find inner peace. Remember that peace doesn't come from having everything we want, but from being happy with what we have. When we think about the good things in our lives, our minds become calmer. Finally, ask yourself, is it possible to find peace in the midst of chaos? The answer is yes, if we know how to look at life with a calm mind. Start your journey to find inner peace today, because it leads to true happiness. What experiences have you had while trying to find inner peace? Please share your story in the comments below. It could help other people who are also trying to find peace and happiness. To find happiness within yourself, you have to learn about yourself, accept yourself, and get along with your inner self. Developing a way of thinking and living that puts mental and emotional health first will help you handle life's obstacles with grace and strength. To stay balanced and at peace on this journey, many people need to do things on purpose, like being mindful, reflecting on themselves, and building good relationships. Meditation and being mindful. Mindfulness exercises can help you stay in the present and fully feel each moment. Meditation every day. Start meditating every day to clear your mind and feel less stressed, accepting and caring for yourself. Self-acceptance means letting yourself know about and accepting your flaws and abilities without judging them. Be kind and patient to yourself, just like you would a friend. This is called self-compassion. Setting healthy limits. Set healthy limits. Learn to say no and put your own health first by making limits with other people. Keep your balance. Make sure you have a good mix between work, friends, and free time. Having good relationships. Develop relationships that are supportive. Spend time with people who make you feel good, help you. Talk to people clearly. To build stronger relationships, talk to people in an open and honest way. Growth and reflection for each person. Do self-reflection. To become more self-aware, think about your ideas, feelings, and actions on a regular basis. Continue to look for ways to learn and get better as you go about your daily life. To find peace within yourself, you have to keep working at it and be patient. You can feel more at peace with yourself and strong if you practice mindfulness, self-acceptance, healthy boundaries, good relationships, and personal growth every day. This journey not only makes you feel better, but it also makes your relationships and life in general better. Number 3, facing loneliness. It is possible to feel alone even when you are with a lot of other people. This is a real thing that many of us have felt. Stoic philosophy says that loneliness isn't just the lack of other people. It can also be a feeling of nothingness and being cut off from those around us. People don't see loneliness as a bad thing. They see it as a chance to learn more about themselves and grow. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "The man who feels no lack is truly rich." This means that wealth doesn't come from having a lot of things, but from being able to feel complete and happy with what we have. When we're lonely, we don't have to look for fulfillment from the outside world. Instead, we can look within and explore ourselves. So how can we turn loneliness into a chance to grow? First, we need to accept and understand that loneliness is not an enemy. It's a normal part of life, and everyone experiences it in their own way. Instead of trying to avoid it, we should accept it as a part of life and ask ourselves if it's just a feeling that can be gotten over. One of the best ways to deal with loneliness is to make good habits. Spend time doing things you enjoy, like reading, writing, or learning a new skill. These things will not only help you forget how lonely you feel, but they will also make your life better. For example, Roman philosopher Boethus wrote and thought about life while he was in prison, which led to the famous work, The Consolation of Philosophy. Writing in a notebook is another good way to deal with being alone. Writing down your feelings and thoughts not only helps you feel better, but it also helps you understand yourself better. Try writing about what makes you happy and what you're grateful for. You'll be surprised at how much lighter and more peaceful your soul becomes. You'll realize that loneliness can be a challenge, but if we know how to deal with it, it can become a chance to grow and learn about ourselves. But I hope you remember that social connection is still important. Even if you live alone, you can stay in touch with friends and family through phone calls, texts, or online meetings. Find friends who will listen and share with you, because real relationships are always a great way to feel better. Being lonely is a complicated and often painful feeling that can happen to anyone at any age. It's not just the state of being alone, it's also the feeling of being cut off from other people. This state of mind can have big effects on your physical and mental health. To deal with loneliness, you need to know what causes it, how it affects you, and what you can do to connect with others and improve your general health. How to understand loneliness. Being lonely is a feeling, not a fact. It's the sensation of being alone, no matter how many people you actually know. It can be caused by many things, such as changes in your life, the death of a loved one, being alone, or mental health problems. Understanding the effects of being lonely. Being alone can make you depressed, anxious, and stressed out. It can weaken your immune system, raise your blood pressure, and make you more likely to get chronic illnesses. Getting to know other people. Do things that require you to talk to other people, like joining clubs, going to neighborhood events, or volunteering. Whether you do it in person or online, try to stay in touch with family and friends by talking to them often. Getting stronger emotionally. To get emotionally stronger, be kind to yourself and talk positively to yourself. Practice awareness and meditation to deal with feelings of loneliness and lower your stress. Looking for professional help. If being alone is too much for you, it's important to get help from mental health experts. Therapists and counselors can offer help, ways to deal with problems and, if needed, treatment for mental health problems that are already present. Getting over being lonely is a necessary and important step toward a better and more satisfying life. Understanding what loneliness is and how it affects people. Making friends, building mental strength, and getting professional help when needed are all things that can help people get over feeling alone and promote a sense of belonging and well-being. Number 4. Taking care of social connections. Sincere connections are always a great way to stay motivated. Having a close friend who is always willing to listen is one of the best things in life. According to Stoic philosophy, social connections not only bring happiness but also offer a lot of mental support. People believe that having social ties is important for keeping their balance and being happy. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, once said, "Man is by nature a social animal." This means that people are meant to live and interact with each other. Social relationships not only make us feel connected, but they also help us when we're having a hard time. However, keeping and growing these connections takes work and honesty. So how can we build and keep social relationships? Let's start with honest communication. Sincerity and trust are the building blocks of a lasting connection. Take the time to listen and share with the people you care about. Sharing not only helps you understand them better, but it also gives them a chance to understand you. Getting involved in community events is another good way to meet new people and make new friends. Join clubs or groups that interest you. This is where you can meet people who share your hobbies and make new friends. Sena, another great Stoic philosopher, kept up a close friendship with Lucilius by writing him letters often with his ideas and philosophies. Also, showing appreciation and caring for others helps relationships grow. Sometimes a sincere thank you or a small act of kindness can make a relationship stronger. Remember that every small thing you do can have a big effect on someone else. Having friends and family around not only makes us happy, but also helps us get through hard times. Ask yourself if there is any relationship that doesn't need work to keep going. Surely not every relationship needs to be cared for with truth, patience, and kindness, dear friend. I think one of the best things in life is having a close friend who is always willing to listen. Do you agree with this? Leave a yes or no comment to let us know what you think. Number 5. The art of self-sufficiency. Epictetus said that a person is not free until he or she is master of himself. Stoic thought always stresses how important it is to be able to take care of yourself. Self-sufficiency means more than just being able to take care of yourself. It also means being able to make your own choices and be responsible for your own life. In today's world, we are often busy with work, family, and social relationships. Being self-sufficient helps us stay balanced, avoid relying on other people, and stay strong when things get tough. Diogenes' life. A Stoic philosopher is a great example of self-sufficiency because he lived a simple life, turned down material comforts, and was proud of being able to take care of himself. The first step is to understand how important it is. Being able to take care of yourself not only makes you healthier, but it also gives you a sense of freedom and confidence. When you know you can do it, you'll feel less stressed and better prepared to face problems. Getting better at personal skills is a big part of becoming self-sufficient. Start with small things, like learning how to cook, handling your own money, and fixing things around the house. These skills will not only help you become self-sufficient, but they will also make your daily life better. Are you asking yourself if being self-sufficient is the way to true freedom? Planning and managing your time are also very important. Make plans for how you are going to reach your clear goals. Self-management not only helps you get things done faster, but it also makes you feel like you have more control over your life. Finally, keep in mind that being self-sufficient doesn't mean you don't need help from others. It means you know how to balance self-care with asking for help when you need it. When you can stand strong through all storms and also know how to use the help around you wisely, you are truly self-sufficient. As Epictetus said, "A wise man is not one who isolates himself, but the one who knows how to control himself amidst the changes of life." Practice being self-sufficient, because it is this skill that will give you true freedom and strength. There is a way of life called the art of self-sufficiency that stresses being independent, strong, and resourceful. It means getting the skills and information you need to meet your own needs without depending too much on outside systems. Following this idea isn't just about surviving, it's also about thriving by living a long-term, independent life. It includes many things, like growing food, saving energy, being financially independent, and taking care of your mental and physical health. Sustainable ways to live. Do things that are good for the environment, like recycling, composting, and cutting down on waste. Learn how to farm, garden, or use hydroponics to grow your own food. Renewable energy sources such as solar panels and wind machines can help you save energy. Improvement of skills. Learn important things like how to cook, sew, build things, and fix things around the house. You can make sure you always have food by learning how to can, dry, and ferment it. Learn how to do do-it-yourself projects and creative ways to solve problems. Being financially independent. Adopt cheap ways of living to cut costs and save more money. Create more than one way to make money by investing, starting a side business, or working. To get long-term stability, you should focus on paying off your bills and making a budget. Health of the mind and body. Put your physical health first by working out regularly, eating well, and using natural treatments. Mindfulness, meditation, and ways to deal with stress can help you stay mentally healthy. Build a group and network of people who share your values and goals so that you can get emotional support and share resources. Being ready for an emergency. Make a full emergency plan for things like nature disasters, economic downturns, and other emergencies. Keep things like food, drinks, medical kits, and tools on hand in case of an emergency. To stay safe and ready for anything, learn basic first aid, self-defense, and survival skills. People can live more fulfilling lives, leave less of an impact on the environment, and improve their general health by learning how to be self-sufficient. Number 6. Embracing personal freedom. Have you ever felt like your tasks and social expectations were holding you back? Modern life is full of stress from work, family, and society. Stoic philosophy teaches us that personal freedom is an important value that everyone must achieve to be happy and balanced in their life. Epicurus once said that freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and that it is won by ignoring things that are out of our control. This quote emphasizes that true freedom doesn't come from being able to do everything we want, but from controlling and managing what we can do. When we stop worrying about things that are out of our control, we will feel freer and more at ease. Being self-reliant and taking charge of our own lives are the first steps toward personal freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote about his ideas and thoughts on personal freedom in his book Meditations. He stressed that we can only truly achieve freedom when we are independent and not affected by outside forces. How can we achieve personal freedom? First, learn to take care of yourself and be self-sufficient. This will not only boost your confidence, but also give you a sense of freedom when you don't have to count on other people. Start with easy things like taking care of your own money, making plans for your life, and improving your skills. Second, make and stick to your own values. If you have clear and strong values, you won't be easily swayed by societal pressures and expectations. This helps you stay true to yourself and make good decisions. Personal freedom lets you make wise decisions and live a meaningful life. Think about the times you felt the most free. Weren't they the times you lived by your values, unaffected by other people's opinions or expectations? That's the power of personal freedom. As Epictetus said, "A wise man is not one who shuts himself off, but one who knows how to control himself through life's changes." You can be truly happy and fulfilled if you value and embrace your personal freedom in your daily life. Personal freedom means being able to live your life the way you want to and make decisions that are in line with your values, interests, and goals. It means breaking free from societal standards, self-imposed limits, and outside pressures in order to live a life that is truly yours. Being self-aware, brave, and dedicated to personal growth are all things you need to embrace personal freedom. This path to personal freedom can help you live a more meaningful and satisfying life. Figure out what your values are. Self-awareness is the first step toward personal freedom. Find out what you believe and what you value most. Step 2. Think about what's important to you. Your beliefs should help you make choices. Write them down and check them often. Ask for help. Limiting thoughts. Key idea: beliefs that hold you back can keep you from being truly free. Step to take. Find any thoughts about yourself that are bad or limiting. Change them out for mantras that will help you. Put limits on it. The main idea is that healthy boundaries keep your rights and health safe. Step 1. Learn to say no to things, people, or responsibilities that don't fit with your values or that make you feel tired. Follow your interests. The main idea is that doing things you enjoy makes you feel free and satisfied. Make time for things that interest you and that make you happy. Strive to make these interests a part of your daily life. You are in charge of your life. Key idea: if you want to keep your personal freedom, you have to take responsibility for your decisions and acts. Step 1. Accept that you are in charge of your life. Take action to make your life what you want it to be, and be okay with the results of your choices. When you do these things, you can start to enjoy your freedom and live a totally honest life. Number 7. Increasing happiness. In Stoic philosophy, one of the most important skills is learning to be happy. This helps us find joy and peace in our daily lives in a world that always wants us to be perfect and successful. One way to find real happiness is to learn to be happy with what we have. Seneca once said that the only way to be truly happy is to enjoy the present without worrying about what might happen in the future. He also said that contentment doesn't come from having everything we want, but from appreciating and enjoying what we already have. To do this, we need to change our perspective and mindset so that we stop seeking what we lack and start appreciating and being grateful for what we have. Practicing gratitude is a good way to become more happy. Every day, take a moment to think about what you're thankful for, even if it's just a good meal, a good book, or a quiet moment with your family. Putting these thoughts into a book can help you see the good in life and value the little things that are important. Also, learn to accept and be happy with the present. Epictetus said that we are disturbed not by things, but by the ways we think about them. When we accept the present with all of its joys and sorrows, we will feel more at peace. Stop comparing yourself to others and focus on growing through your own experiences. It's not easy to become content, but it's worth it in the end. When you learn to be happy with what you have, life becomes more important and small things can bring you joy. Start this trip today, because as Seneca said, the only way to be truly happy is to enjoy the present. Please leave a comment if you agree with this Stoic philosophy. Being happy is a deep and complicated feeling that affects every part of our lives. It's a feeling of well-being that can range from being comfortable to being very happy. Some things that affect our happiness are out of our control, like our genes or the things that happen to us outside of our control. But there are many things we can do to make ourselves happier. If you understand and use these methods, you can live a happier and more fulfilling life. Encourage good relationships. Strong relationships with other people are essential for happiness. They give you mental support, company, and a sense that you belong. Spend time taking care of your relationships with family, friends, and people in your neighborhood. Take part in events and conversations that matter and help you connect. Be thankful every day. Being thankful helps you focus on what you have instead of what you don't have, which makes you feel better. Do this. Every day, write down what you are grateful for in a gratitude notebook. Thinking about good things that happened can make you happier in general. Do some physical things. Regular exercise not only improves your physical health, but it also makes you feel much better mentally by producing endorphins. Add some physical exercise to your daily life by walking, jogging, doing yoga, or dancing. Try to do some kind of mild exercise most days of the week for at least 30 minutes. Practice being mindful and meditating. Mindfulness and meditation can help you feel less stressed, learn more about yourself, and better control your emotions. Do something. Use mindfulness methods like guided imagery, deep breathing, or progressive muscle relaxation. Set aside time every day to meditate to clear your mind and become more aware of the present moment. Set goals that matter. Having a sense of meaning and working toward goals that are in line with your values can make you happier and more satisfied with your life. Step 1. Figure out what's really important to you and make goals that you can actually reach. Split these goals up into smaller steps and enjoy your growth as you go. Focus on goals that are important to you, like growing as a person, making friends, and helping your community. Getting happier is an ongoing process that includes making choices and forming habits that are good for your health. You can improve your overall happiness and live a more fulfilling life by focusing on positive relationships, showing gratitude, being physically active, becoming more mindful, and setting important goals. Remember that happiness is a journey, not a goal, and that making small, consistent changes can have a big effect on your mental health. Number 8. Getting better by adapting. The universe is change is one of the sayings that Emperor Marcus Aurelius left behind. It says that to live and thrive, we must learn to adapt. Stoic philosophy teaches us that adaptation is not only a survival skill, but also a path to personal growth and development. The way we think shapes our lives. Adaptation is more than just letting things change. It also means changing the way we think and act to fit the new situation. As long as we are willing to adapt and change, even the hardest problems can give us chances to grow. So how can we grow through adaptation? First, we need to be able to think and act in different ways. We should never be stuck in old habits or ways of thinking. We should always be ready to try new things and see what works. When we're in a tough situation, we should ask ourselves, is there another way to solve this problem? Being able to think in different ways will lead to many new opportunities. Thinking outside the box. The life of the wise, Marcus Aurelius, is the best example of being able to adapt. As Roman emperor, he had to deal with many problems and issues, from wars to problems within the empire. But he always kept his cool and made smart decisions that helped the empire grow and stay stable. His writings in Meditations are not only philosophical advice, but also proof of his ability to adapt and grow personally. Every change, no matter how small, brings secret chances. Instead of being afraid of them and avoiding them, being brave and looking for the good in bad situations is important. For example, when you move or change jobs, you can meet new people, learn new skills, and broaden your views. Lastly, keep in mind that adaptation doesn't mean changing who you are totally. Instead, it means growing and improving yourself through each experience. When we learn to adapt, we not only get stronger, but we also learn patience, persistence, and the ability to get through hard times. If you want to change your life, you have to be ready to adapt and grow. As Marcus Aurelius said, our life is what our thoughts make it. So, start today by being open to change and looking for ways to grow in every situation. The idea of developing through adaptation is at the heart of understanding how living things, like people, learn, grow, and do well in their environments. Individuals and their surroundings are always interacting with each other in this process, which leads to changes that make it easier for the individual to live and do their job. The ideas behind adaptation are very important in many areas, including biology, psychology, education, and even the growth of businesses. Biological changes. The genetic changes that happen over generations in a population that help organisms live and reproduce better in their environments are called biological adaptation. As an example, germs becoming resistant to antibiotics is a type of biological adaptation. Adaptation in psychology. Behavioral, mental, and emotional changes are called psychological adaptation. They help people deal with new or difficult situations. For example, coming up with ways to deal with trauma or worry. Adapting to a new culture. This refers to the process of how people learn and adapt to the rules, values, and habits of a different society. For example, immigrants learn the language and follow the practices of the country they move to. How we learn and grow. Learning is a form of adaptation in which people gain new skills or information through schooling or experience, which leads to personal growth. For example, students change the way they learn to do well in different classrooms. Adaptation within an organization. In reaction to changes in the outside world, organizations adapt by changing their structures, strategies, and operations. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, businesses switched to methods where people could work from home. Understanding how adaptation works in different areas shows how growth and development are always changing. People and businesses can better handle and thrive in times of change if they understand and use these flexible processes. Adaptation isn't just about staying alive, it's also about getting better and better all the time in reaction to new challenges and chances. Number 9. Exploring and achieving spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment is a journey of self-discovery, inner peace, and connection with a higher reality. It is often thought of as a state of deep knowledge and insight into the nature of existence and oneself. It goes beyond religious practices and views and focuses on changing and becoming more aware of oneself. Even though this trip is very personal, it has themes and practices that are shared by many spiritual traditions. Spiritual enlightenment can give you a sense of purpose, compassion, and inner peace that makes your life more important and full. Figuring out what enlightenment means. In different spiritual traditions, enlightenment is called awakening, nirvana, or satori. It means having a deep understanding of the true nature of oneself and life. A feeling of inner peace, clarity, and freedom from the ego or false self are all signs of it. Things that lead to enlightenment meditation. Doing meditation regularly can help you calm your mind, learn more about yourself, and connect with a higher consciousness. Mindfulness. Being mindful every day makes you more aware of the present moment, which lowers stress and improves your ability to see things clearly. Thought and reflection. Thinking deeply about spiritual texts, nature, or your own experiences can help you gain new insights and knowledge. What ethics and self-control have to do with it? Self-discipline, honesty, kindness, and moral behavior are all important for spiritual growth. These traits make the mind and heart clean, which makes it easier to reach awareness. How important community and advice are getting help and direction on the way to enlightenment from spiritual teachers or mentors is a good idea. Being in a group with people who share your values can give you support, help, and a lot of knowledge. Life changes and personal experiences. The path to wisdom is very personal and different for everyone. It means overcoming personal problems, finding your meaning, and going through moments that change you. In personal stories of enlightenment, people often talk about big changes in how they think and act, as well as a lasting sense of peace and satisfaction. Spiritual enlightenment is a journey that never ends, inviting people to discover the depths of their being and the mysteries of life. It is not a place you get to. It is a process of growth, learning, and change that never ends. People can start down this road and eventually reach a state of deep inner peace and enlightenment by practicing things like meditation, mindfulness, living in an ethical way, and asking for help. The happiness in your life rests on the thoughts you have. This quote by Marcus Aurelius gives us a chance to learn more about faith and the way to enlightenment in Stoic thought. People who are spiritual are connected to themselves and the world around them. To explore spirituality, we must first be aware of ourselves and the world around us. This requires us to stop and listen to our inner voice. When we take the time to think and ask deep questions about life, we start to understand who we are and our purpose in it. Euripides once said, "No one can make you anxious without your permission." This makes a point of showing that peace and enlightenment come from inside us, from how we see and respond to life. Meditation is a good way to learn more about faith. Meditation not only calms us down, but it also helps us learn a lot about ourselves. Marcus Aurelius used meditation to stay calm and in balance during his rough life. Try sitting quietly for a few minutes every day, focusing on your breath and listening to your thoughts. Over time, you will notice that your mind gets better and more balanced, peaceful and good for meditation. Spiritual beliefs are great to read and study if you want to learn more and become enlightened. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius and other works like them can teach us a lot and deeply inspire us on our spiritual path. Finally, ask yourself if exploring spirituality can help us achieve peace and enlightenment. The answer is yes, if we know how to look at and deal with life with a Stoic mindset. Start your journey of spiritual exploration today, because it is the way to true peace and happiness. We believe that everyone's journey is different. How has this topic affected yours? Share your story by leaving a comment below this video. It could be a challenge you overcame, a lesson you learned, or a positive change you've made in your life. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends who are also looking for inner peace and strength. Finally, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and turn on the bell to make sure you don't miss any of the great movies we share in the future. See you in the next video.